thanks for stopping by. You're at the 2008 ICAST show in Las Vegas, and we're glad you stopped by the Uncle Josh booth, because this year Uncle Josh came out with something very innovative. It's called the Bump and Run series by Uncle Josh, and what we're featuring is a swim jig and a buzzbait. And what makes the swim jig and buzzbait so different is they have a rotating head, as you can see. And what these baits do, they're directional baits. You can rotate the head to the left and make this bait run off to the left and bump cover coming all the way back to the boat. You see another piece of structure on the right side, you simply rotate the head and have this bait run off to the right. And you can do that with the buzzbait and the swim jig. What I'm going to demonstrate right now is the bump and run buzzbait. I'm looking at a seawall right now. There's probably about 3 feet of water on this wall. I'm going to rotate the head to the right, throw this buzzbait down the wall, and it's gonna bump the wall coming all the way back. And that's what you always read about in magazines and see on TV shows. You have to bump cover no matter what bait you're using to draw strikes, and the Bump and Run series does that. Yeah.
Oh, it's a big curve. Oh, it's got wind, man. There you go. Look at that.
Look how quick that just got to the wall right there, and now I'm bumping all the way down this wall. Let's see if a fish blows up on it. There's one right there. You see how that worked? That buzzbait was 10 feet off to the wall. Look at that fish. There he goes. That fish was 10 feet off the wall, folks. With a couple quick turns of the reel handle, it shot the buzzbait back to that wall, and at about the 4th or 5th time it bounced off one of these poles. That fish came up and ate it. And what that fish thinks this buzzbait's doing is these fish are up here trapping minnows on these walls, and when you're taking this bump and run buzzbait or the swim jig and you're reeling it and it's constantly banging that cover, whether it's a boat dock or a seawall like we have here, that draws a reaction strike because those fish are on the go on those minnows. Get yourself a bump and run buzzbait and swim jig and have some fun with this. I moved a little farther down this wall. I still have the buzzbait running off to the right. Let's go down. I'm going to hit this shady spot, and even if I'm 5 to 10 feet off the bank, a couple quick turns of the reel handle moves that bait even faster to the target that I want to hit, and I'm going to bounce it off of there. Let's see if we can get another strike. Right now, I'm banging that wall. See how it's bouncing off every one of those posts. I'm still keeping the rod in position to set the hook. That's another nice feature. If you're throwing a traditional buzzbait, you're going to have to stretch your arms all the way out here to have that buzzbait or swim jig stay in that strike zone, depending on what the strike zone is. With this lip feature on the Bump and Run series, I can keep the rod in a position where I can still get a good hook set, but yet still keep that bait in the key strike zone. There it is! Bump and Run buzzbait! Right off those rocks. Smallmouth. See what I was doing right there? You see how far away the boat is right now from this riprap bank? You throw that Bump and Run buzzbait down, and I'm in the back of the boat. It stays pinned on that rock the whole time coming back, and that smallmouth just blew up on it right there. Here's another nice situation with the Bump and Run. We're in tight quarters here. We're in a tight little spot, and you have a wall. I'm just going to flip this Bump and Run buzzbait out. Look how far away the boat is. And I'm running that right down the wall. And it's staying in the strike zone the whole time. Oh, there's a bit. There's a nice fish.
I got one too.
Oh! There's a perfect example, folks, of that buzzbait. Threw it off the rocks, It cut back in with a couple turns of the reel, kept it going. I even had my line underneath this tree. Traditional buzzbait, I could have never came back on that rock like that and drew that strike. That's what the bump and run series does. You see me as an angler in the front of the boat, I'm getting all the good fresh water, and I can move the trolling motor to adjust and hit the key spots. Look at Mike in the back of the boat. Usually when you're in the back of the boat, you're getting the seconds and you're not getting the best casting angles, where the bump and run buzzbait and swim jig allows Mike to stay in the strike zone, even though when I'm swinging the boat in and out, not giving him the best angles, he can turn that head to the right, turn it to the left, and hit the key spots also and catch fish out of the back of the boat, not only in the front. Here's another perfect example of fishing the bump and run, swim jig, and buzzbait. We have a floating dock right here. I'm going to simply rotate the head on the buzzbait, and I'm going to have it run and hit this floating dock coming all the way back. And everyone knows there's tons of floating docks all over the country. And when you hit that floating dock like that, that's going to draw a reaction strike from fish that are suspended underneath those floating docks. You just saw the buzzbait. Now you're going to see the bump and run swim jig run underneath this floating dock. There's not a bait out there on the market that you can throw along a floating dock and have it run 5-6 feet underneath it, right where the shady spot is, right where you're going to get your strike. Look at how far that bump and run swim jig is coming over. Right now I am underneath that dock. Look at how far that thing is away from the boat. All right, I'm going to demonstrate right now on how you rotate the head of the bump and run buzzbait and swim jig. It's a real simple concept. Both baits are featuring the same type of twist and lock head. As you can see right now, the head is up the shank of the wire. The inside of the head is notched. And then there's a piece of lead that's molded in on the top half of the lead. When you rotate that on, these swim jigs and buzzbaits, if you want it to run straight, you're going to simply push it straight down so it's in line, the lip's in line with everything. If you want to rotate it and I want it to run off to the right, I'm going to simply twist the head, and you see how right now I'm holding this buzzbait straight at you and the lip is turned off to the side. That's what's dragging this bait off to the left right now. If I want to go to the right, you see how quick that is. Now it's off center. It's gonna run. It's completely locked in. It's not gonna come out of position during the cast, which allows you to a quick 2-second rotate, make it run to the right. A quick rotate, make it run to the left. A quick rotate and make it run straight ahead. And that's why the bump and run buzzbait and swim jig is the hottest thing right now. Get yourself some.